everybody. Happy Celebrate Freedom Week. Wait, did you even know it was Celebrate Freedom Week? We are celebrating the freedoms granted to us because we are American citizens. Tomorrow we'll get into the Constitution a little bit more, but what you need to know right now is the Constitution of the United States is the main document that tells us exactly what our rights and our freedoms are as American citizens. It is a long document. We're gonna look at it just a little bit, piece by piece. Today, we're going to look at the First Amendment. I'm sure you've probably heard when people talk about their amendment rights, their First Amendment rights, their Second Amendment rights, but do you know what that means? We're gonna talk about the First Amendment. You are granted 5 freedoms, 5 of them, by the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. Remember, the Constitution is the document that if there's ever a question on whether something is right or legal, we always look at the Constitution and see what it says about that. So, Amendment 1 has how many rights? 5. 5 rights granted to you by the Constitution. It is the freedom of religion, to believe whatever you want to believe. It is all on you. The government cannot tell you what you believe. The freedom of speech. That means you can say what you need to say without bullying anybody. You have the freedom without the government getting involved to speak. You have the freedom of the press, and that means that the news reporters, they can write what they want to write. The government cannot control what the press, the news reporters report about. You have the right to the freedom to peaceably assemble. I'm sure you saw somewhere on the news when we were off for COVID vacation, all over the world, there were people protesting the murder of George Floyd. People were allowed to peaceably assemble. That means peaceably protest. They could assemble together and be together in big groups, and the government cannot stop as long as you are being peaceful about assembling together. So protesters can be peaceful protesters. You have that right through the Constitution. Number 5, you have the right to petition the government. That means you can ask the government, you can ask them for any change you want. Now, that doesn't mean they're always going to give it to you, but you have the right to petition the government or ask them for some kind of change. So let's review. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom to peaceably assemble or peaceful assembly, and freedom to petition the government. Now, you tell me, what are the 5 rights granted to you by the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States? Happy Celebrate Freedom Week!